screenplay. Anderson between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. He got 29 yards that time.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Here we go now.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now Simeon. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. And they're going to have a third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Simeon. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. He'll drop to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true number one receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to D'Angelo Williams. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Aqib Talib is one of the great gambling corners in the league. When he gets an idea and a notion and jumps a route, it often results in 6 points for his team.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And unsuccessful there trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Screen play, Anderson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. In the backfield is Anderson. Now Simeon. And he's got it complete to Fowler. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Benny Fowler, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before. I
thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely the benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
on second down, Williams. And some room to work. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play, only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. And down to the 36-yard line here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
And he's got some space here. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And the seemingly endless drive continues. It's picked up. There he goes. Brandon Marshall. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on 2nd. They'll fake the give to Williams. Now it's Roethlisberger going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Shamarko Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this.
Intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Now Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. The 20. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. A big play there just before halftime. And even 70 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it. It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 30 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history. And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think? Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel, but they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds? Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half. I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down. Yeah, they add a DB. Now Anderson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Simeon. Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Benny Fowler, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos will extend their lead. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here. When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working. And what about the defense? And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Marcus Wheaton, 87 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Second down following the incompletion.
Watch that in. Key him. Key the tight end. Now let's go.
They pitch it out to Anderson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
There are so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Now Simeon. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Charles sidestepping for a minute. Looking back to Sunday, we saw some clock management issues. You look at the Indianapolis game, the Dallas game, and how that shook down. But when you're a player or coach in those situations late, how hard is it to be aware of what's going on? Because it's easy for us sitting on the couch to critique.
It's a lot harder than maybe we give credit to, because heat of the moment, the anxiety levels have gone sky high, the competitive juices are flowing. A lot of coaches keep cards with them that tell them when to, how you're supposed to use the clock down the stretch. You don't always get the math right. That's why I think a lot of teams now are going to go to having someone designated in the press box to handle clock management issues and advise the head coach, because they should be able to think clearer up there rather than down on the sidelines where the heat is really rising.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now Ben on third and long. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. Charles, let me get your thoughts on the AFC West in general after week one. You had the Chargers losing that tough one, but they put up a good showing. Broncos and Raiders both winning one-point games. What do you see from the AFC West?
For me, partner, nothing has changed from what I thought going into the season. In fact, it's actually solidified what I thought, that the AFC West is going to be one of the better divisions in football. Kansas City still riding that winning streak in the regular season from last year. They extended it in week one of this year. Oakland, everyone talks about being a surprise. They're no longer a surprise. They're a solid team that will contend. And Denver's just the defending champions in the league. And San Diego played much better than expected in week one.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll get 23 yards there. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run it with Williams. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. D'Angelo Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. And the Broncos are going to get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Here's Anderson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the 1st on 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Second down, 9 yards to go. Shift together here from the D-line.
Trip. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll switch it up here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off William Gay. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that's going to lead to a third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger looking deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They come up in an offset eye. They run. It's Williams. And that play is blown up. Losing yardage back at the 35. And Denver getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Simeon. Screen play, Anderson. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, Anderson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So